I am no Jedi. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Hello, explorers, and welcome to another Ahsoka recap. It's 10 to 3 in the morning here at the UK. What time is it over there, Taylor?
It is 6:48 at night. So
What
we
about
just
you,
finished
Jimmy?
watching it.
That's just about a 8:45, so yeah, it's not too bad.
Awesome as always. Then you'll hear our hot takes fresh off episode 3. I think overall the general thoughts from not just us but also the internet, our explorers, especially Matt, is that it was too short straight away off the bat.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
One of
I
the
saw
shorter
that as we're getting
episodes.
our Ahsoka Facebook chat exploded.
Yeah.
I try to avoid it so I'm not influenced, but yeah, so I did seem a little short. I think my comment was, "Damn it, Dave."
Yeah.
So,
Damn it, Dave, too short. Yeah, so
Yeah.
brilliant first comment there, Matt, straight in at number 1.
but
I started the episode at 2 o'clock and I was good to go by 2:30. That's how short it was.
Yeah.
Obviously, I
there's not a
skipped
lot
all the
of that.
recap stuff and didn't bother listening to the end credits, but yeah. Overall, then, we'll give it some from the start. We'll go from the start. So, first scene, obviously, we see Sabine. In fact, what we will say first is spoilers are going to be ahead of this. So, if you haven't watched it, make sure you watch it.
Spoilers. Come back and
Yeah,
watch it
for
right after you.
Spoilers for
listen to
part
us.
3, Time to Fly.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing Sabine get trained. What's your first initial thoughts, Jimmy?
Wow, I love Huang. His training stuff was really cool. His snark is, I don't know, man. Him and K2SO would have a snark battle, I think. But
Oh
he's
my
awesome.
gosh.
Seeing the training was really cool. And then we got ourselves a little callback to A New Hope. Luke and old Ben training on the Millennium Falcon. And that gave me the goosebumps. That was awesome. I love that callback. I wish I would have written down the name of that style of training, like Yatachi or something, or Yokochi or something.
Yeah.
But what else I wrote? I put Natasha. I don't know her full name. Is a bad mamma jamba. Her muscles, her form.
She's ripped.
She looks like a warrior. So yeah, but the training sequence was awesome. Taylor, what did you think about that?
I couldn't get over Hiang's comments. Like he's
He
like,
is
what did he say? He's like, barely. Like she and I don't know. He's so fun. He's like, well, it's true. Like she's not ready. Like he's so matter of fact that it's like almost it's frustrating for them. Like they're like, ugh, like Hiang, like just do what we want now. Like this isn't 500 years ago. The Jedi Order's like gone. It's like, but yeah, I like that. I really like that Ahsoka is trying to get Sabine to understand that it's not just like a warrior's like it's just not a warrior's religion, that being a Jedi, right? And she even says, like, being a Mandalorian, like, you have the talent when it comes to fighting, and like your body is trained for this, but your brain isn't. Like you have to, like, she's like, feel my presence, and like all this. Like it was so cool just how Ahsoka's trying to teach her to learn something completely new that she can't even understand, but she's trying. Sabine's trying so hard. Oh, what did you think, Jack?
Yeah, so again, quick little Easter egg / nugget at the start where she opens it up and you see all those collection of lightsabers. Right at the start, did you see that?
Oh,
the lightsabers.
Yeah.
So there's loads of backstory there, like you keep saying, Jimmy, on the last one. There's so much time and I'm going to say money to be made, but backstory there for what Ahsoka's been up to, because clearly she's come across some Jedi. Clearly.
For sure.
She's got a nice little collection. It keeps referring back to Sabine picking up the saber again. Since it's been a while, so she's sort of rekindling that flame or that training, getting that back. And like you said as well, Jimmy, the New Hope stuff, using that line from Luke Skywalker of the "I can't even see."
Yeah, no, it was like really awesome.
Bringing it back to the veterans, and I could just feel all the old school Star Wars fans screaming, going,
Yeah.
"But you will see, you will see." And Huang is just growing on me massively.
Oh,
He's going to be easily one of my favourite
David
droids.
Tennant is crushing it. So
Yeah, by far.
awesome.
From there, we had the little cup scene as well, where they're talking about the Force, and I instantly connected with the entire Star Wars universe. How many of us have sat there looking at something, saying that the Force is with us or something, and thought, I'm going to pull this can, this cup, this book, what it is to it. Everyone's tried it. That moment, that was everybody. That was every single Star Wars fan in the entire universe going, this cup's going to move, this cup's going to move.
Oh.
So I thought
That's
that
awesome.
was absolutely hilarious. Straight from there then, straight into the ship scene. What do we think about that, Jimmy?
Well, I have a bunch of notes, but I have in big capital letters Jason reference, Jason Sandula reference. And then I got an arrow because I take my notes kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He has the green hair.
It's so green.
So
The green
I
hair
was like,
menace.
whoa, but he's at that age. You know, we've talked about a lot of things. You know, obviously a lot of our shows have been leading up to Ahsoka, and Jack, you talked about one last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. What if we saw Ezra training Jason, and he's like right at that age, man. And I'm like,
happening.
and that's the first thing I thought about whenever I saw him. But yeah, I thought that was great. Like the opening scene was really, really strong. And then we get to the ship scene. We got some politics, which I do like. You know, being older, I do like the politics, and it was great to see Genevieve O'Reilly, Mon Mothma, and Hera getting snarky, man.
Yeah.
Like, she just straight up called out Ziono. I have Ziono sucks.
Yeah.
So, in my
That, and like
notes,
the more crude word.
I think
Yeah.
they've got the
Yeah.
politician characters to a T. Again,
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Not a fan of the politicians whatsoever. It's like, come on, how blatant is it?
Yeah.
Clearly they're corrupt, but
Well, that's what I put down. Ziono, First Order supporter. I mean,
there's
I don't
one
know
or two
how
in there.
but he gets blown up in Resistance, right? Doesn't he on the planet?
Well, he
Yeah, he
deserves
Star
it.
Killer base.
Yeah.
I didn't like him. No wonder his son bolted. I would too if that was my dad. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of that whole scene? That whole, you know, I guess what we call like the second act.
Go on, Taylor.
This scene, it just shows how politics, like, how they just always kind of are, like, I mean, in real life too, but in Star Wars, like, they don't even believe her when she brings this Thrawn threat to them. Like, they're like, you've been saying this for years to get whatever you want. So we're tired of this excuse. We're not going to give you any more resources. We're not going to approve this mission or whatever, right? And it just sucks because Hera's like, are you joking? Like, this is a huge threat. And you can tell Mon Mothma knows it too. Like, she's like, are you serious? Thrawn's coming? And then Ziono is like, he's just like, oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. It frustrated me a lot that they weren't believing her. And she's like, I've fought enough wars to tell you that this is coming. And I liked that she's like, oh, he's around here somewhere. Like, as I'm like literally trying to deal with my family stuff here too. So I can relate to it a lot, like being busy and stuff. So I don't know. It was good. I like that kind of stuff too.
I think it shows Mon Mothma hasn't even got a grip, even now. So she's got sort of what she wanted, a new republic. She's got the status that she wanted, but even now, she still hasn't got that grip and that hold, or even that say of what to do or the goings on, and it shows the different political parties in it. As in, you've got Mon Mothma, obviously pro Republic. You've probably got Xena, potentially pro First Order / Empire, and then
Mhm.
you've got the others that are just neutral. That haven't got a clue what's going on. Just go with the flow.
Yeah, no, Hera called him out for sure about, were you in the war? No, you were just waiting to see who won.
Yeah,
So,
Good little
that was
line.
a good call.
Good
yeah,
little
He didn't even
line.
have any.
solid.
Yeah, he didn't even have anything to say back to her.
No.
But yeah, and then from there, just one more thing actually that popped into my mind is just going back to the Sabine thing as well. And Huang, he mentioned about there's so few Mandalorian Jedi in the past.
hmm
I thought that was another little golden nugget, something else to open up on. But anyway, yeah, I digress. Next, then was the ship scene again, sort of flickering towards A New Hope with Luke in the cockpit. I thought that was absolutely amazing on the tailgate. Again, as Jimmy knows, I love my ships. I'm still
Yeah.
trying to work out Hattie because even her ship was sort of like a different color to the rest. I then started thinking, is she a Mandalorian because of how Sabine used to paint the ships in Rebels? But I don't know. That's just a wild theory. What about you, Jim? What did you think of it?
The ships looked awesome. I thought that it was a good perspective on how big Ahsoka's was a T-68, I think, right?
Yeah.
How big that ship is, because you can't always tell when it's just flying by itself. To have those little snub fighters coming after her was pretty cool. I did not really care for the space Ahsoka scene. I thought that was kind of, I don't know, stupid. But and the fact that she got changed, the fact that she got changed in like 0.5 seconds. I mean, it's got to be hard to get stuff over that Leku.
Yeah,
Even if it is designed for it. Yeah, she's got to be real. Like, I don't know. I thought that was kind of dumb. But it is what it is. You're not gonna love everything. So, but the scenes felt like it lasted forever because that was kind of like our third and almost final act. I guess we'll keep it up in space at first while we're talking about this. Fighting was cool. That ship took a beating. It was good to see Marok. And I'm so mad at myself because last week when I saw the Eye of Sion, I was like, that is a hyperspace ring. And I didn't say it. That. And I don't know if did I say it?
Yeah, you called it.
I feel like you did.
Okay, because I was like, man, that looks just like the hyperspace rings that the Jedi use on their starfighters because they don't have hyperspace capabilities.
Yeah.
And, but so I'm just want to know what the hell kind of ship is going to use that thing. So,
just a giant Star Destroyer.
That was fine. I like the fighting. The space Ahsoka. I'm not going to say it there and be like, oh, I loved it. But it was fine. It was cool seeing her out there, doing her thing and figuring out a way to, protect the ship long enough for Sabine to get it underway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Taylor?
I thought it was pretty cool when she is like using her lightsabers to fight off, what was it, like a laser cannon? So that was kind of cool. How she kind of was like defending them because they didn't have shields. The ship's like completely down. Hiang's like out to lunch, and Sabine's like, okay, I'll try to get the ship going again. Like, it's like one of us has to do something, or else we're both gonna be dead, and we can't help Hiang. Yeah, like, and that brings us on to the space whales.
Yeah,
like how
just before that though, we'll just talk a little bit more because. The whole point I thought of that little sequence there, including the battles with the ships, it's showing what they can do together. So when they work together, which they did.
I know where you're going with this, but
yeah. So it's showing them now that they can work together, and when they do, it works out.
Yeah, and it's not always Ahsoka's way. Ahsoka decided to, like she's learning too. And as a teacher, I can tell you that you do learn a lot from your students, and that you guys as parents know that you learn a lot from your kids. And I did notice that, and I kind of picked up on it pretty quickly. I don't think I wrote anything down here, but because it was like do this, and then she's like, okay, what do you need? And that shows some growth and some
Yeah.
focus on Ahsoka's part. And yeah, I think you're right, Jack. They're going to be a dangerous combination once they figure
Yeah.
out how to be master and apprentice.
And one of the notes I wrote down with the space stuff. So one of the things that sort of got me a little bit upset with The Last Jedi was the whole float in space Leia scene.
Oh,
So as soon as I thought Ahsoka was going out, I was like, no, why? When she came out in a spacesuit, I was like, I'm happy. I can cope with this.
yeah, that was
She
better
sort
for
of
sure.
didn't quite have maglock boots. I thought it was awesome with the sabers blocking the ship's cannons and all that. I'm all for that. I don't mind that. I thought it was awesome how she took that ship out as well.
Mhm.
And in my notes, I literally put, and this is not like a slide dig, but I just thought, this is how you do Jedi in space. This would make sense to a degree. And I know it's Star Wars, I know it's fictional, but having a human person with no protection on floating through space didn't quite do it for me.
Yeah.
This, I can sort of let slide and be like, Rian Johnson, take note. But yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then,
Dave definitely fixed a plot hole from The Last Jedi, I think, with that. Like, hey, this is...
Yeah.
But,
But yeah, it was quality. He's like
And then-
floating around the Star Wars universe, like fixing things like a welder or something, isn't he?
yeah, I don't
She's
know.
like- Has a list he's
Was the
working
line...
on.
was the line, you come from a long line of non-traditional Jedi? Because when she
Yeah.
turns Huyang on, is that... I don't remember when that was. I guess I'd like to talk about that a little bit, but I guess we can move on into around... What's that planet called?
Titos?
Denab
Deneb system.
Denab
It's the
system.
Deneb system, but I think it is Zetos or Zeo or
Zetos.
something.
Oh,
Or Zeo.
Zetos. Yeah, you're right. Zetos.
Is the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the planet. Perfect. So, yeah, I guess we can kind
Yeah.
of move on to that. But so, Taylor, what'd you think
Take
of
it
him?
away.
So when we all of a sudden saw the clouds, I was instantly like, be the whales, and it was the whales. What did Ian call them? Star whales, he called them. And he was asleep or knocked out the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. Like they weren't like bright purple like I was expecting or anything. Like there was a lot of them. They were huge. And they pretty much used them like Han Solo used asteroids to,
Yeah.
to get away from their pursuers. And after Sabine just had this big glowing smile on her face, and she's like, I haven't seen those creatures since the last time we saw Ezra. So it's like a new hope for both of them, and they're both just sitting and like smiling, but they're also like in a lot of danger. But
Man,
that
they are
whale scene
doing
was so cool.
they are doing such a good job of sprinkling in information. There's no big giant expo dump of this is what Rebels was. If you pay attention, I feel like when I watch a TV show and I don't know stuff, I can pick up like, oh, this is happening. So if you have a brain, I think, and you haven't watched Rebels, you can start piecing things together.
Yeah.
They just give these little nuggets, and I would think that if you were into it, you'd want to go and watch Rebels more. But like, yeah, that line, Taylor, I was just like, oh man, like just this little bit about Ezra in the first episode. Now we drop this little hint. People are gonna be like, well, who the hell is Ezra?
Yeah.
Why is he so important? So yeah, but yeah, I put down humpback whales in space because they actually look just like so. But yeah, it was really cool to see them. I'm glad they toned it down. They're doing a really good job now of taking stuff from the animation and bringing it to the live screen.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a pretty good job. Now, I talked to a lady at work today who, she's tatted up with Ahsoka stuff. Her whole office was there, and she has not been vibing. I told her we'd have a few more therapy sessions as it goes on. We talk, but one of her things is she's not happy with how Ahsoka looks or Hera and things like that. So we'll be curious with Jason and with the space whales what she thinks. So I'll probably go up and try to find her tomorrow and have that. So
get her on the group.
You're
What'd
just
you
a
think about the space
crazy guy
whales?
chasing her down the hallway. Hey!
So something I've noticed with these whales, they look fantastic and everything like that. However, again, this is me with my theories. Are these whales? Now I noticed it clearly in the last episode. With the clouds, I've seen things on the internet where people are like, "Oh, I can't see anything,"
Yeah,
I've seen that
Balin
straight
looks up at the
away.
cloud. Yeah.
I've seen it straight away. But I'm quite observant anyway. But my point what I'm getting at is these whales travel a lot, right?
Hmm.
So are they captured or stranded on that planet?
Hmm.
Because that would make
I don't know.
sense in terms of how they're going to, let's say, utilize the whales for the hyperspace travel. To me, they
Oh,
seem
kind of
like they're captured or stranded on that planet.
Can you
possibly.
imagine?
Do you remember man? I wish I would have had a chance to go back and I really need to do a Rebels rewatch all the way through. But do you remember how? Because when we first met the Purgles, wasn't it on that planet and they were being like gassed or whatever, and
Yeah,
they couldn't leave?
yeah.
Is that what's happening here? They're
That's
being like
that's exactly
stunted
what I'm
or
thinking.
whatever.
So
That's what all the
these
white clouds are, maybe?
these aren't
Yeah.
clouds, so to speak. I don't think these are clouds.
Maybe Dathomir and Night Sister magic.
Yeah,
They
or
weren't green. It wasn't green, but
or the
something.
old Empire gas or something.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
a really
that's
good
what I'm
theory.
thinking. Because usually they all group together and then they just fly off. But because
Yeah.
don't forget, we've seen them in the Mandalorian in hyperspace.
Yeah.
So to me, I think they've been captured, and I think they're going to serve a purpose. As in, they're either going to use them to go back to travel to get Thrawn, or something, or harness their energy, or something. It doesn't seem natural to me that they're there constantly. Because
Yeah.
in fact, they even say in Rebels they don't stay in one place.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, and then that would be like at least a few days since Balin saw the one up in the cloud. And they're not even like when Shin sees it when she's flying, she's not even like, oh my god! They're like, you know what I mean? Like if you're
Yeah.
They're all
flying
dead
and
Yeah.
you're
cool.
like,
They're all dead
holy
cool
hell!
about it.
They're just like, okay, Morgan, they're in your sector. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll just go around them. All of them. Even Balin wasn't even like that shocked when he
'Cause
saw the one in the cloud too.
They're not native to a planet. They live in hyperspace.
Yeah. Huh.
That's a good. That'll be curious. And that Dave loves those things.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of his like crowning achievements where he just kind of stuck it to all the naysayers. If you remember that first episode, I remember because I was binging all 4 seasons of Rebels. So I didn't watch it when it came out, and I was like, "What in the hell are these things?" Just to like most people, I'll filler episode, and then he just smacked us across the face with a whale tentacle. But I said tentacle, by the way. So, but yeah. So he's got to be like, yeah, these whales, man, they're more important than everyone can even imagine.
Yeah, 100%.
Good on. Good on.
So yeah, after that, then we finished up with the little bit of a forest scene with Balon, talking to his, I'm going to say, hired mercenaries or his army to hunt them down.
Yeah, they're
and
hiding
that
in the
was-
forest.
That
Hunt
was
them down.
pretty much it, really, wasn't it? It wasn't anything else
That's all we saw,
extra onto
Balin.
that.
I was so. That's when I screamed, "Damn it, Dave!"
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was another reference to A New Hope where it was like a thousand voices suddenly screamed and then went quiet.
Yes, everyone heard me.
Yeah.
It was good to see Balin though. I don't know what it is about that dude, but I've gone back and just watched his scenes a couple times. Like it crushes me that I know I'm not going to get any more of him after the season's over.
Yeah.
It's like
It just oozes
maybe
essence.
And
God,
and I
man.
feel like it's not even like people really like him because like, oh, unfortunately he's passed away, so it means more, so we all like his character more. It's not even that. He's just so good at this character. Like he's so calm and cool and relaxed. Like he's living this character. Like it's awesome. He's doing such a good job. Like
Would have loved to have seen him as a Jedi, like in the Order.
Yeah.
A great master. Like I think Shin's going to be a formidable enemy though, because he just gives off this vibe like he knows what's up, and he's going to have his Padawan ready to roll. So I hope that she turns out to, whatever happens, we'll see. But I just couldn't believe it ended like that. It's good to know that we're getting cliffhanger endings, but it is, like they said, it is a serial. It's going to the story keeps continuing, and I think that we get some of those. So there's still scenes from the trailers that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like a lot of times it's usually like the first half we see, and then they just the next half will be completely guess. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think the next episode's going to be the rest of the trailers, but we'll speak about all that fairy stuff on Sunday as normal.
Yeah.
Apart from that, that's pretty much that episode in a nutshell. Overall, is there anything else that you guys have got wrote down you want to talk about?
I had the long line of non-traditional Jedi, and you start to
Yep.
think back, Ahsoka, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Dooku. You know what I mean? Like, it
It's true.
goes. Yoda. Like, I mean, you think about that line, and even, I mean, Yoda is being the master, but he's not a typical Jedi, talking in riddles and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I love all this little stuff that Dave, this is the stuff that I'm excited about. Again,
Yeah.
we'll give our ratings here in a little bit, but those little things like that's what I eat up when we're talking about Star Wars, and that's one of the reasons I'm so pumped to have Dave, and I hope this does well. What did we
Yeah.
say? 14 million people watched episode 1 or whatever. So I think
Wow.
that's what that. But yeah, and then what do you guys think of the music and the CGI? I didn't really see anything that was like, oh, that's the volume.
I'm really
Yeah.
bad
But, I
at
mean-
telling when it's being used, if I'm totally honest.
See,
Yeah,
I
me
thought in
too.
Kenobi it was so easy. Like, I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
sucks. Like, this is the volume.
The music was quality
But
again, though.
Yeah.
Kevin Kilner just
Very
kills
good.
it so far. Super
Yeah, and
impressed
someone
with
said
that.
his brother's writing with him as well. Like, it's
Okay.
Kevin Kiner and his brother, I think.
Oh, that's
which is,
cool.
man, musical family, I guess. So that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't know. That's really all I have. Just thinking about that line, that heritage, and
Yeah.
Sabine would fit right into that group of being a non-traditional Jedi, doing things her
Mhm.
way. And so, but
Yeah. Nice.
Taylor, do you have
Um,
anything?
I just think it's funny how we have Sabine, who is a Mandalorian, who's trying to become a Jedi, who doesn't have the Force, even though she's trying. And then we also have, on the other hand, Grogu, who was a Jedi,
Oh,
child, youngling, whatever, with the Force,
Yeah.
who's trying to become a Mandalorian. So I love how Dave's putting the twist on that one for us. Like,
Yeah, I
Good
never even
shout.
thought
like
about
that.
that, Taylor. That's a really good shout.
Yeah,
that's
so
really
that's pretty cool,
that's
right?
smart, man. That's really smart. Yeah.
And this is all kind of
Very
happening
cool.
in the same time era too.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think one of my favorite parts in the whole episode is where they're is where Sabine and Ahsoka are in the forest, and they're like, okay, we need to shut down everything so that they can't track us. And they're like, okay, we're shutting everything down. And like, she just turns towards Hiang, and he's like, I protest, no. And then they're just like, nope, turn him right off. And he's just like, ugh. And then she turns him back around. He's like, thank you. And they're just like, oh yeah. And then he's like, oh yeah, well, we almost died multiple times. And he's like, yes, standard operating procedures. Like, it's,
Yeah, he used that line so many times and then seals it with that one. That was hilarious.
he's so calm and
So-
collected. He's like, I'm almost done. Like, he's like, slow. Or what did he say? He's like, slower, please, or something. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closer. He kept saying closer.
closer, please. Like,
Yeah.
he's just like, yeah, okay. He's been on
he's
these kind
definitely
of
the
missions
star
for
of this show.
years. I love
Yeah,
seeing.
He stole that episode a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah,
Oh,
I even liked
100%.
his training sabers or whatever that he had.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, those
How
practice
you can
things.
see everywhere where she has cut and like
That's
where's
the
too
VR
high,
game
where's
in
too
the
low.
making.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
yeah, for
That's like
sure.
something you could totally do at Galaxy's Edge. That like we
Next
can
on
do.
the Oculus.
Yeah,
Training
100%.
Wang.
I think with Sabine and the Force, it's going to take one or two things for her to connect, and they're dropping nuggets at the minute. And again, wild theory, but I think if Ezra is dead, she needs to see that / know that to learn to let go, and I think that's what it's going to take for her to be able to use the Force.
Oh,
I think something happens and she reaches out to stop somebody from falling or push somebody out of the way or something. And that's when she finally. Well, I also think maybe at the very last episode, she's sitting at that table again and she puts her hand out and the cup will tremble and then that'll cut and that'll be the end of the series.
Yeah,
season 1 done.
done. We're like, damn it, Dave.
Yeah.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine? Could you imagine if, again, another wild theory, the boy from The Last Jedi that gets the broom is
Oh,
her
yeah,
kid
Broom
with
Boy.
Ezra or something mad?
Oh,
my
that would be
God.
awesome.
No, they're brother and sister. They're not. I'm not on that train where they get together.
We've seen brothers and sisters kiss before in Star Wars,
That's true.
so
That's
it'd be
so
nothing
true.
new. It'd be nothing new.
Oh my gosh.
But
Oh
yeah,
my
I think that
gosh.
pretty much wraps up the recap now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a really short episode, so it wasn't a ton.
Yeah. So we'll start with you then, Taylor. As always, we'll go with our loft cats. How many loft cats are you giving it?
I'm gonna go with 8. 8 out of 10 loft cats. I'm not chopping anybody in half today. This episode of Ahsoka trying to explain to Sabine that you don't have to have a lot of talent. I guess, or what she said, it comes down to talent, but you can still train to be a warrior of the light. You don't need the Force, and like she's trying to explain it to her, like it's in everyone. You can feel it. Like it takes a lot of discipline. Not everybody can handle it, and I just all of that. Their connection just made it for me this episode. There was a lot of stuff missing. We did get Jason. We got space humpback whales. So
sure.
it was pretty good. Yeah, so for me, it was a good 8 out of 10, which is higher than average. Room to play around, I guess. Room to get better. And Hiang is just getting so good. He's just getting so good. Love him. What about you, Jimmy? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did 9. I think I said 9 for the episode 1. We gave 8.5 for episode 2. And I was thinking I'm bouncing back and forth between 7.5 and 8. And I thought that the opening, the training was so strong. I will stick with 8 Lothcats as well.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 Lothcats. Meow.
Yeah.
Strong. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I'd say 8, just because it was a little bit short. But again, I realise why it's short. The space thing did it for me as well. I
hope this isn't a trend, though, because it's been going down for us. Like, you know, I know, Taylor, you weren't on the first one, but I'm assuming you've gotten way up there with us as well. And, you know, something to keep an eye on. Hopefully we either plateau or we start going back up, I hope. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Solid only because of the length. There's a lot of golden nuggets in this. If they would have ended at that fight scene with Ahsoka and Baylan in this one, which I think we'll get in episode 4, I think so. Would have been maybe a 9 for me if I would have gotten to see that. So
we're all on the planet now together.
Awesome. So another strong episode. I think everyone's in agreement there. As always, join us on the socials. Explore the Force on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and also the Facebook group chat page. Let us know your thoughts, your comments, your Lothcat ratings as well.
And questions for Hank the Tank if you got any.
Send your questions for Hank the Tank. And hopefully we can get some more wise words from Hank, our new segment on a Sunday, I think.
Yes.
So, as always then, from Taylor.
For light and life.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Oh, there we go. And for all of us, we have spoken. Jack, go to bed.
Good night.
Good night.
Good morning.
Good morning for you guys.
Good morning.
All right. We love your dedication, Jack.
That's it. I'm not there next week.
Love your dedication, mate. Yeah.
I'm not here next week.
So, all right, man. See y'all.
All right. See you guys.